continent known for its rich culture.
Africa is where most of our clothing and food will come from. And also, it's somewhere where our friends come from. I'm not sure, basically.
So Africa is like the main source of our clothes, our music. It's everybody's culture, even though if other people want to be in denial about it. My mother's Dominican and my father's African American.
Africa can be improved through multiple organizations helping in the landscape or probably helping the society itself grow. I am from America, my dad is from Grenada, and my mother is from Trinidad.
Africa to me is the mother of all countries, and I say this because a lot of people from all over the world is from Africa. They're all from African descendants, so yes, it's the mother of all countries.
Africa to me is wait, we could start all over again. I just want to see how it is to live in Africa. Not just only that they show that the desert, but the city, what goods do they sell, and all of that.
Africa, I would say, and this is filmed in this current generation, how it is very, in a very negative way. They say that like it's full of diseases, malaria.
My family is from Jamaica, and I was born in America. I think that Africa is important because it's actually a part of me, like even though I'm not aware specifically of where I come from because that's been ripped away from me.
My mom is Dominican and my dad's Trinidadian, but I'm from the United States. I believe that Africa is being portrayed in a biased way where it's being seen as a bad place to be and a bad place to like live in because of all the poverty.
I feel like African is portrayed as it's always being discriminated. People always put negative things onto people's minds and it has like now it doesn't have like no positive view. Like everybody always says something negative about Africa.
The dance we perform is called Congo Ballet. It's a mixture of French and African dance traditions. And in this piece, you'll notice that different to the other ballet, which is bigger and statelier, this is lower to the ground, much more of an African tradition. There's much more hip, and this dance is seen mostly in Tobago, where apparently so many of the Congos settled.
To my friend Gorky from Senegal, the owner of Café Les Ambassades.
In particular, of starting your own business, what majors do you have to go through to start your own business? Do you have to get a business degree or a culinary degree?
Actually, believe it or not, I'm an engineering major.
Wow.
So it is from A to Z. I had passion for this. I went from City College of New York, doing electrical engineering, to doing this. It's because I have passion for food. So yeah, it's not really that much of a big deal. I mean, all you need is to have passion for it, because the money comes afterward. You never ever go anything for the reason of making money. You go for it for passion.
This song called Jarabi.
Jarabi.
Jarabi is the love song. I love you, love me. That's the best. Melody.
Nade. Mama, Sase Mama Africano, Sase Mama Africano, Sase Afra Mama Cado.
A group like this should know what a botanica is, right? Everybody knows what voodoo and santeria is, right? Santeria is another word for voodoo, but just in Spanish. And many people that practice santeria, when they hear the word voodoo, they go, not me, but it's the same thing. It's just a different language, right? But we're talking about native Caribbean religions, mostly speaking about Amerindian religions, right? The Amerindians were Taino Indians, Arawak Indians, the Caribe Indians, and then West African religions. And mostly it was those West African religions and Caribbean religions that had to be hidden within Catholicism. So what my grandmother was doing, without even really knowing that she was doing it, was she was keeping these African and these indigenous Caribbean religions alive within Catholicism. Somebody asked me, why would you have to do that? Why? Because it was illegal. It was beaten out of us.
Respect to your elder attracts blessing. When you give respect to someone who's older than you, that person prays. He or she will not pray for you to hear in his heart. Or in her heart, that person is praying for you. Well done, my child. That's a blessing. So, if you begin to respect yourself and pass this respect to your elder, your ways will be brighter, because our elders have a lot of wisdom. For the fact that an elder pats you on the head, well done, my child. You don't know what that means? Means a lot. Well done, my child. That's a blessing. For the fact that I see my chief and I do like this, sometimes if I want the blessing to be complete, I will not get on the curse me together. In that moment. Then he uses his, whatever you see them carry, it on my head. It's a blessing. Those things help us to weather the storm.
Zaman da zaman, borai hiji charara, ihai charara, idu dumi 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 ina dumi dumi hai.
My name is Alex Boissel. I am from French Guiana. Because of my father, I became a promoter, a music organizer, festival organizer. Something I find very interesting when I was, like, for instance, in Mali. I saw, you go to a village, people are poor, but it's important for them to receive a stranger, a foreigner. They may not have so much, but, everything is for you. So I was very moved by that. I remember, the grandfather would say, oh, the stranger is there. Go and get a Coca-Cola at least for him. To sit down and then. So that means they open their heart. So going to Africa, I think it's important that not to come there and show that you are so American. So American mean that, you're coming there and then you tell people what to do, That's not the way. It's to blind with the culture, to find out, to observe people, to find out, talk to them, and then try to eat their way, try to drink their way, try to, dance their way. I mean, do everything that, they to be in a family, because they embrace you like, you are in the family. This group is a group from Benin, West Africa, and it's called Jomion and the Yukos.
We're all from a family whereby our father is a singer, is a percussionist, is a composer. Our mother is a singer, a composer. So when you have two human beings that are in music, there's no way for the children not to be in music.
It's all media from people who say the minute you come to US, you'll be a millionaire, you'll be making money, you'll be making your dream, but you will never know until you really step in. When you come in and then you find out it's not really everybody thought it is. Just like now, I'll give you an example. My daughter just came in 1 week. Last night she was crying, she wanted to go back. Because it's not like the way she thought it would be. So that's what's happened. So I just came, I figured, I thought it was going to be like, I saw a friend of mine come in. He used to live here. He came, it was nice dress, he had money. So I thought it like, but it's not where everybody thought it would be. It's a lot of work. But right now, the neighborhood change. It's a very high class. 125th Street. It's starting to be like 86th Street. So most of our people cannot pay for that rent. I mean, this store was a big store. We cut down to split to other people so we can be able to stay. Because there's no store in the 125th Street less than $10,000 a month. No one. So definitely, that's why a lot of, I would say black business went out of business here a lot. I go to the show, is called Kult Market. And so the Kult Market, 99% all white. I'll be only black there. Sometimes some of them like to buy, they see this, oh, I like it. But and inside mine, they would not want to buy it because it's me. Sometimes I have to hire a female white to set up there. I keep walking around. The time I come back, she make a lot of sale. I mean, if this is a white female told me, she said, Mokhtar, you my friend, I think you should hire a white female. You will make money. And since the last 5 years, I've been doing it. Hey, how are you? Yes!
Brother, how are you?
How you feeling? Wow.
Sumugo.
This is one of the ladies I used to make her clothes. A very good singer from Mali. How are you?
Hey guys. Hi.
So,
bonjour.
Come here.
Bonjour.
Oh, you speak French?
Okay, c'est bon. Ça va bien?
Yeah, good. So, I was good.
Ça va, Kogan.
I care for my.
Abaka, nema don't keep it on you.
Be honest, you see that?
Look at that.
Yeah,
this
thank
is
you.
like my paradise.
It's been a long
here.
time, Joe.
I know.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Genesis.
Hey, how are you? My name is Awa Sango. Just like Mokhtar tell you, I'm a performer from Mali, West Africa. And I've been doing that since 29 years now. Singing, dancing, and performing, and try to be the voice of the voiceless, which is not an easy work to do. Women right, children education, especially girl. Going back and forth, touring and sharing, spreading some word here. People don't usually love to say because we have to. Somebody have to spread it and not be scared to share with the public so people understand that, you know, the woman have a lot of right and deserve a lot of respect from Africa and from all over the world. Men have to know that we are partners. We are not enemies. We are not fighting. We decide to be together because we have to believe and trust each other. And women have a lot of responsibility to build a better and unified world today. In those days, I believe on it. So I still stay in touch with my population back home from that, building that. And they're following me, following what I'm doing and all the things, the website and Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. They're following everything I'm doing. So they know I'm fighting for us. I'm a modern artist, so people love to call me Afropolitan. I'm Africa myself, no doubt. Like I decide to stay who am I and keep my hairstyle and keep like I love African fabric more than anything, on stage, out of stage. Like it's just me. That's the way I feel the things. I love it.
Question to you is why you decided to pursue this career?
As a media man, it's just we know that the world today is controlled by media, and if you want to make a difference, you have to be involved. And if you can see that the reason why some of these, I would say, communities are not well served is because they're not having their voice heard well. And media, radio is part of one of the way where you can get your voice out there, your message out there. So that's one of the reason why I pursue this career. Yes, I was born in Africa, Senegal, West Africa, which is the French country speaking. That's what we use in the office and school and so on. I came to America to I don't know if you heard about it, what they call the American Dreams.
Okay.
I was a promoter. I can still be a promoter, if you may say. Because from back home I was a popular person with the kids, throwing parties and whatever. And when I came here also, I wanted to continue that. So I was continuing bringing, the youth together, throwing parties. But while I was doing the parties, I was making sure I dress, as my African dress. Always trying to show them that stay who you are and bring peace and, in the same way. So I did it for like about 5 years, and one of the broadcaster, his name is Dan Babu, called me one day and say, I need a DJ. I said, I'm not a DJ. I love music and everything, but I'm not a DJ. He said, you don't have to worry about it. Because we know that you're very popular in the community with the youth, so we need somebody to come in. I said, okay, no problem. So I came in the studio. I remember the first day, they just like us here, they opened the mic. I couldn't talk. They be like, go ahead. I couldn't talk. But that was my first time. I was scared. Because knowing that there's like maybe hundreds of thousands of people listening or 10,000 people listening back then, I couldn't talk. So I had a friend of mine whose name is Buganda Hige, who's right now, who get his own radio station, TV station in Senegal, newspaper and everything. I started with him. He's a millionaire right now, but I'm not. Maybe one day I will. Who knows?
What type of messages do you hope to spread through the media?
I will start with peace. Peace. Because without peace, you cannot do nothing. For example, I give you an example about a country called Syria. A few years ago, or even better, Libya. Years ago, people was living life wonderfully with no problems. But once the war started, now everything is upside down. So I believe, me personally, then whatever situation that you have going on, you can do it with peace.
Everyone, this is Nicole Paul, who I call my little sister. So I get personal. This is most personal I get. It's rare that you meet people who are beautiful on the outside, but more so on the inside. And she's that person I've gone to know for a number of years now.
Thank you for having me. This is really exciting, really, to be able to sit in front of a classroom full of faces that look like mine and actually talk one-on-one, because most of my interviews has been bigger, way bigger audience, but like I feel an audience that we share the same reality, but not really. So I'm very happy when she told me about it. I was like, yes, these are the kind of projects that I would really like to do, especially right now in the platform that I have in modeling, everything that's going on in our community, to be able to really utilize my voice instead of just my face and my, you know, the things that I use for modeling, but really use my voice, like, and talk about the things that are going on in our community. I just wanted to take my heart and give it to the world and tell the world my story. Who I am as an African woman, who I am as an African girl, before they took me out of my village to save me. Who am I? Where do I come from? Where's my culture? You know what I mean? These are the things for me now in the big heart that encompass everything, is to tell the people my own perspective, my Africa, my village, the Nile, everything that I knew. Like, I literally grew up with giraffes. Like, I grew up with elephants. I grew up with lions. I grew up with all of that. I climbed trees my whole life, but I had peace. I had richness. I had wealth. I had everything that I've ever wanted. But something caused that chaos, because we have so many resources. Like, you know, Africa is blessed. It's the land of milk and honey. We used to sing about that since I was 2 years old. The land of milk and honey, the land that provides thee. So for me, it was always heartbreaking to be here and hear another narrative. Like, even if I meet people who don't really know my Africa, like, I really become like, oh, trust me, you will get this boxing hands real quick, because how dare you get this story? Where do you get this ugly story from?
How was your early life in South Sudan?
I had besides the war, honestly, because there's two parts to my life. In South Sudan, before we became refugees in Ethiopia, I had a good life, besides like the occasion tribal fighting and stuff. I lived a basic life as the oldest of 9. Back then it was just the three of us, so I climbed a lot of trees. I was literally like a bush girl, like real bush girl, to the point where my mom would get so tired to like braid my hair, you know, put beads and like make me prettier, because that's what they do, like little girls, because like we have all these suitors every day. Like, this whole suitor situation in Africa is like, you know, because if I go to the Nile to go play and be dirty, I come home and my mom is like, my God, your braids and your beads and all of this, and we have guests, and then you just look like this. And me, I'm the firstborn to my mom and dad, so the pressure to be, you know, I don't know, it's just been like so devastating, like to be apart from your parents. Like, when I left my mom, she was holding me in her lap, saying to me all this. I'm like, lady, I'm gonna come back so soon. And then now I'm going back with the same height, and I'm just like, yeah, it's grown ass woman, like, you know, excuse my language, but it's what have happened, you know.
But your mom did not remember you?
No, they remember me, but it's one thing to send your child away as a child, and then for them to come back as an adult who's like filming doing this, because I am the firstborn of those people, you know? So it's definitely, I don't think they thought that I would ever come back. And I really give hope that I will ever go back to Africa, until they were like, oh, okay, now your status changed from the I-94 to like a green card, and then waiting 3 years for the green card, and then, you know, all of that stuff. So I gave hope so much, man. I gave it up. Like, I don't think I'm gonna return back. So to see this, wow, my life changed so much. Like, I was just kissing the ground every day. I walked barefoot. I didn't wear all my designer clothes that they give me, I gave everyone. I didn't want nothing. I just want to just be free.
Africa means something, that everybody in Africa is different. Everybody in Africa is not poor. Everybody in Africa is not that. I feel like Africa is underestimated now.
Well, after journeying from about like the 2 to 3 weeks here in the program and speaking to the amount of speakers and trying African food and stuff like that, it made me feel proud to be an African.
Africa is not just a place where everybody just thinks it's a poor nation. It actually has intelligent kids who actually focus on the schoolwork and actually want to achieve for something better than what they had before. So I actually look at Africa as a, when people call me African, I'm like, yeah, that's me.
This past couple of weeks, I learned that Africa is not a place where people are dehumanized or thought of badly. Africa is a place of prosperity and a lot of wealth. Africa has 1,900 languages, and it's now, I know that's a big continent.
I never had any bad feeling towards Africa, but like now, you know, all those misconceptions like Africa is like, you know, everybody in Africa is hungry, like things like that. Like it has certainly changed because, you know, like the media portrays like a whole lot of misconception, like flies over your head, like everybody's starving, like things like that. So all of that has definitely changed. My views in Africa and my thoughts, they have broadened. Like I have more to think about now since I've met so many different people, like in different job area, artists, models, different people. My what I believe and knew, like it has extended because I know more now.
Me, I would say my views on Africa has changed drastically actually, because normally from the media you see stuff about Africa, how they're like in poverty, how they need help. But after seeing all these successful people that came out of Africa, that came to the US and made their lives pretty good, I think that they really don't need help. It's just that people think they need help.
Honestly, like I will say I'm a lot less ignorant about the continent as a whole, considering that I did not know about specific countries or like either like what certain countries, even how they were. And like knowing the difference between like civilization down in South Africa versus possibly say knowing about like if there's like a lot of versus knowing about a lot of swamp land.
I was raised by my Dominican side of the family, even though I'm also African. So, but I feel more stronger to be African American based on this experience that I went through this summer. So I'm more proud, way more proud to be African American than I was a few weeks ago. And I feel like today more people will be ashamed of being African, but I feel like if they went through what I went through these past few weeks, they will feel more proud.
I never thought I was African, but then since the stories that I've had heard, I believe that yes, I am African. My parents never told me that they were Africans, or no, not Africans, but they never told me that we had, the Dominicans, we had African backgrounds. So what they used to say, the Dominican Republic used to say that they weren't like the Haitians because the Haitians were dark-skinned, and that they were light-skinned, kind of brown, the Dominicans. So they were like, they're not the same. But now I'm understanding that the Haitian and the Dominican Republic is like the same thing because they both came from Africa. So they just like the same. I don't know why they have all these arguments about you're this color, you're that, and
yeah, I really do thank the Africa Center for this opportunity because it gave me like a wider perspective of ways to look at Africa. I really hate that the way the media portrays Africa and what it's like to be African. I thank the Africa Center for showing me a different part, like a different world, like making me unlearn the things that I already, the knowledge that I have of Africa already. Like this place that nobody wants to visit, nobody wants to be associated with. Like it's all just, it's not real. Like we have to embrace the beautiful country that, beautiful continent, not country, that Africa is.
Well, my mean, by that bul ma miin ba Fatima Jóob kon mu ñaaw
bul ma miin bul ma miin bul ma miin ba Fatima kon mu ñaaw
bul ma miin